Welcome to Rhombus News. We have 4 sides and corners and a lot of interesting, eye-opening news to deliver today.
It's simply irresistible.
Spinach. You may have heard of it as a dark leafy green that is packed with iron, vitamins, and minerals, so eat lots of it, right? Wrong. Jeff Cox, author of Organic Cook's Bible, states, and I quote, "Because spinach is a heavy feeder, it will absorb an excessive amount of whatever is in the soil, pesticides, fungicides, and chemical fertilizers, as well as nutrients." End quote. So you think you can play it safe and go organic? Then sure, go for it. Spinach is a superfood after all, except for oxalates, that is. Oxalates are nasty little anti-nutrients that could potentially turn into kidney stones if you're prone to forming them. Now you could eat more calcium-rich foods that bind to oxalates, or just boil your spinach to reduce oxalates by 30 to 90%. Isn't that delicious? A big heaping pile of wet, cold spinach, oxalate-free, just the way you like it. You'll be on your way to health and seasonal depression in no time.
Tremors starring Kevin Bacon is often overlooked as the most pivotal movie of the 20th century. When it first opened, riots broke out in local theaters because everyone wanted to get a glimpse of the rugged, dusty duo of Val McKee and Earl Bassett, played by Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward, respectively. The movie was touted as a brave and progressive film for the 1990s because it featured a homosexual relationship between Bacon and Ward. Critics today call it the Brokeback Mountain of the 1990s. In the movie, Bacon and Ward live in Perfection, Nevada, and they struggle as a couple to find a new beginning in the liberal town of Bixby amidst realistic roadblocks such as graboids that they must overcome to be together. They work in concert with conservative townsfolk to reach a collective goal of destroying the graboids to improve their lives and those they love. In the end, the townsfolk accept the two lovers for who they are, and the town of Perfection becomes less close-minded to the relationship of Val McKee and Earl Bassett. It's truly endearing.
Now there is a book worth looking into called One Flew Over Cuckoo's Nest by Ken Kesey, which is about life in a mental health institution in the 50s. You may be more familiar with the 1975 movie of the same title starring Jack Nicholson. In the book, however, you are exposed to the viewpoint of the schizophrenic Indian, Chief Brompton. Ken Kesey wrote the book from direct inspiration after working the overnight shift in an asylum in Menlo Park, California. Added inspiration also came from Kesey volunteering in a government program called MK Ultra, or the CIA Mind Control Program, in which participants were subject to psychedelic drugs like LSD and involved in isolation, sensory deprivation, and hypnosis. Kesey later moved on to other pursuits, like taking a colorful bus called Further, along with his merry pranksters across the United States in the early 60s, driven by Neil Cassidy, who was the inspiration for Dean Mortimer, the main character in On the Road by Jack Kerouac. Ken Kesey is looked at as the link between the Beat Generation and the Hippie Generation. His hijinks and adventures are chronicled in The Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test by Tom Wolfe.
Technology is moving at the speed of light. From advances in nanotechnology to biomedical engineering, we're entering a brave new world. Technology affects every aspect of everyone's lives, except for Nicolas Cage, who's been quoted saying, "I use technology for communication, but I don't have a BlackBerry or an iPhone. I use an outdated cell phone, but I'm fine with it." Technology is always going to win in the end, no matter how much you try to avoid it, or how much you think you're better than it, Nicolas Cage. Perhaps the most cutting-edge piece of technology is the robot Mortimer, the robotic drumming robot. Mortimer was created by a team at Queen Mary University in London. Lead author of the project, Lewis McCullum, has been stated saying, "We uncovered new and exciting findings that suggest open-ended creative activities could be a strong bedrock to build long-term human-robot relationships." Mortimer is more than a simple robotic drummer. Mortimer can respond and play with pianists. Mortimer can play with pianists in real time. He is also programmed to take photographs and update them to Facebook with a comment. So there you have it. There's nothing to fear about technology. It just wants to be your friend forever.
Simply fascinating stuff. Honestly, really eye-opening. Well, that's it for today.
Remember, you're either on the right bus or the wrong bus.
Stay safe.